All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning and hope you had a really good day yesterday. All right, guys, so let's get started. Today we had a very we had a great watch list yesterday, so let's get into that. Here's our watches that we have from yesterday. Here was the final one. We did have a lot of stock yesterday, but these are the ones I went with. Here's were some possibles. We'll get into our gappers list. I'm seeing quite a few on there look great already, and some that have been in play in the last couple of days, including yesterday. We'll do our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. Norm is back with us. Norm, good morning. Hope you're feeling better.
Hey, good morning, buddy. Thank you. Far from 100%, but at least I can move today.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to hear that you're better. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Let's see what we had yesterday. So here's BYND. Again, BYND has just been on a complete tear. So yesterday took off nicely here, became a little bit choppy in this area. Look at the 1 minute, right? So it had a beautiful opening range on the 1, 2 minute, and then here it just became very choppy. It looked like at one point wanted to break out of this 115, 114.50 area, but it really struggled. So if you just look at the whipsaw action here, back and forth, eventually it just gave up, lost the VWAP, tried one more time to stay above the VWAP, and then once it sold off here, this would have been a good entry for a short. But again, just a tough stock to trade. We had cleaner moves in the previous days, but yesterday was just very tough. Aside from this move here and becoming a great short in this area, it was very tough to trade. Andrew took an amazing short on this trade off of VWAP. A lot of you guys did. I had one member show me a trade that he got in, but then he got stopped out right in here before his break-even point, and then the drop happened. So again, just unfortunate, but this drop was beautiful, guys. Losing here, what was this? This drop lost 111 all the way down to 109. So a buck, $2 and change just in that move there. So again, very nice today. It looks very active already. It's 341 and up 2.8. So we'll definitely be watching BYND today. CLVS was also had a great pre-market activity, guys. Had a beautiful pop here. Looked like it was going to get a good continuation at the open, and then just became very choppy. Looked like it was going to break out again, just bouncing back up and down above the at the VWAP. You can see here how it was just not clean in this area. Eventually lost the VWAP, settled down, and became a beautiful short after that. But this first opening, first 15, 20 minutes was just brutal. Just again, no direction at all. Eventually you could see it here happening. Pops up, comes back down below the VWAP, pops up one more time, then comes back down below the VWAP. So if you're watching this action, right, and you notice that, okay, he's having a very tough time doing that, and then here, it tries to get above the VWAP again. This is what we call not being able to sustain or set a trend above the VWAP. Usually when a stock cannot do that, it stays below the VWAP and it comes a beautiful short after testing it several times. You have several opportunities in here and in here as well. This is very clean, guys. You can see trying to break out, and not even the candle can close above the VWAP. Test this one more time. This could have been a good entry for a short to try to break that low of the day, and you can see how beautiful this thing traded. It went all the way down from 1063 down to almost 913, 915. So again, just a beautiful drop on CLVS. Traded very clean after that, just sticking onto that 9 moving average, testing the 20s, several times here. But again, just trading very well there. Pins. So this is one that, again, was also very choppy at the open at first. I actually took a short in here, and thankfully I was able to take a partial out. I got stopped out of break even, and so glad I got stopped out of break even, guys. That's the rule that that Andrew had on his book as well, and one that I have implemented that I'm very happy with. Again, if you take a partial out when it comes back to your break even, you get out. So here this worked out perfectly. Saved me from this squeeze that was coming. This was very aggressive, guys. Look what a nice pop this was above VWAP. But overall, this first opening range here just not as clean. In the 5 minute, you can see how whippy that first 5 minute candle was. Got toppy at 20. At this level, we had 22.76. You can see here just the action back up and forth, and then you get this drop. Just happens out of nowhere. You basically lost everything you gained at the open. Gave it all back. You got some tests of the VWAP one more time, and just become a beautiful downtrend. There was a lot of stocks that traded like this that just they couldn't hold any uptrend. The SPY was selling off a bit as well, so that could have helped the situation on some of these stocks just being a good day to short stocks. TGT. Now here's an example of a stock where I do go short, and because it comes back on my break even, I'm out. So that didn't work out too nice here. So here, lost the VWAP, I went short. This candle comes back to my break even, stops me out, unfortunately. And then look how beautiful this thing dropped after that. So target was great, also a beautiful short, but also gave you a great double bottom opportunity here. right? So you got a clean double bottom there. That would have been your entry in this candle to go long. Doesn't run as much up to the VWAP, but you would have gotten at least 1 or 2 Rs if your stop was set towards the low of the day. So you probably got like a 2 hour trade here. So that would have been nice as well. NKTR was another one that was also a very good short. Again, everything around this time frame, around 10:30, just started dropping, right? Just kind of slowly dripping down here towards lower levels. This one was also in here. We were looking for a breakout, right? It had the perfect set up for a breakout. Even Andrew was looking at this one, but the problem was the volume and the order flow was not there. That's very important. Sometimes the volume and the order flow do not give you a good indication and a good read of the level two. The level two was also very dead. There was no indication of an imbalance of power between buyers and sellers. So that made it very difficult to get into this trade as well. Then here it did pop up a little bit. It went towards the high of the day. That would have been a good move, and then just completely loses it, going all the way down to these levels we had here, 23 in the low from the day there. Tesla, I didn't watch the price action on Tesla all that tight. But it did open up very choppy. Again, another one that tried to break out nicely, then just kind of got choppy and consolidated around the moving average. The VWAPs just kind of going, just wrapping around it. And then eventually towards the end of the day, it did lose it here and give you a beautiful drop. But again, just the open and the consolidation period didn't really give you a good move like other ones. Other ones after their choppy open, they were able to sell down and leave the VWAP becoming a beautiful trend trade. All right, so that is what we have from yesterday. Here's were some possibles. We're not going to go through those. Norm, what do we have today in regards of news and SPY? Anything going on that we should be aware of?
Yeah, we've got this nice gap up, nearly 0.5%. Has been up as much as 0.5% on the SPY this morning. We just had a smattering of economic data come out at 8:30 Eastern. Weekly jobless claims came in a little bit lower than expected, which is a positive for the markets. Retail sales ex autos both came in better than expected. And the import price index, I believe, I missed taking it on my notes when I heard it, but I believe it was better than expected as well. So not an inflationary pressure there. Overall, pretty good data that came out this morning on that. Hasn't moved the SPY a whole lot since 8:30. We're up a little bit from there. Of course, we had the U.S.-China trade agreement signed yesterday, which it was no surprise to anybody. Didn't really do a whole lot in the markets. And then let's see here. Later today, we'll get business inventories at 10 a.m. and the whole home builders index at the same time. We'll get housing starts and such tomorrow, and I believe there's a Fed speaker or two on the schedule for tomorrow. So that is what's going on in the markets. I just want to shout out. I really apologize for not being here yesterday, guys. I have a back injury that goes back about 10 years. Doing some work around the house, my back went out. I couldn't even get out of bed yesterday. But yesterday was a huge day. Did you talk about it yesterday, Carlos?
No, I did not talk about it, man, because it would not have been the same
So
without you there.
yesterday, oh man, yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of this pre-market show.
Yes.
I was it was depressed. If there was any way I could have gotten on the mic with you yesterday, man, I would have. So Carlos started it a year ago yesterday. We've been on the air every single morning since then that the market's been open. Of course, I think we had a technical difficulty or two where things either got delayed or such. We had to find a different way to do it. But so congrats to you, buddy, on a year. And we look forward to just keeping improving it. And thank all you guys for watching every day. We love your feedback. We look for some changes
Yes.
coming up in the next year, improve the show. So if anybody ever has any feedback, I don't know about you, Carlos, but my DMs on Twitter are open at NormBBT. Carlos is at Carlos MBBT. I'm guessing his DMs are open, but I'm not sure. Or you can email
Yes.
us either
Yes.
Norm or Carlos at bearbulltraders.com. We welcome your feedback, any way to improve the show.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, it's been definitely a hell of a ride, and I have definitely been enjoying it. It has become part of our process to get ready for trading as well, Norm, right? It's just not just
Oh, yeah.
a show for the members and the viewers. For us as well, we love doing this stuff. So, again, as he said, and my DM is also open at Carlos BBT. So if you send me a Twitter message there, DM, I'll definitely get it and respond back. All right, guys. So let's get to it. We have quite a bit of some gappers here today. So let's see what we got going on. Let's start with the top. Sig. Sig is up 29% this morning, with just an amazing pre-market activity. So really love the way this is setting up today. Also, I love the daily, guys. Look at the breakout, right? So not only are we gapping up today, we're doing it in style. Look at this nice pop here, leaving this area of resistance. Not sure if this is all-time high in this area, so when somebody wants to look that up, that would be great. We could definitely use that information later. But right now, trading very well, guys. Look at the beautiful pre-market activity, some great volume. Definitely one that I'm going to want to watch today on here. This is a nicey stock, but it's trading very well in the pre-market. Which is nice to see. Norm, I'm not sure if you had a chance to, I know you've been out of it, man, to go through some of this news articles on SIG. Is there anything
Yeah,
close
absolutely.
in it?
Yeah, so they released their preliminary holiday sales data, and this is a company that's while they've kind of had a good run since September, overall they've been beaten up recently. And they released their preliminary data. It was much better than expected. They actually raised their guidance. So
Gotcha.
looks like an improved situation for them at the current time.
All right, perfect. Definitely worth watching, guys. I think they're again trading very well. Just love this breakout here out of 22,
Yep.
2150. XPO this morning up quite a bit, 20% as well. Also seems like it's breaking out of a somewhat of a tough
Just
area
as
here.
one real quick thing, Carlos, and I apologize
Yeah,
for jumping back in there, but just a note: when I say they've been beaten down recently, if you go back to the middle of last decade, so 2015, they were up trading around 150. So down to 20 in a few years from there, and then and they were down as low as like $10 at one point. So that's what I mean by hammered. So
yep,
any
yep.
good news is going to be fire under them.
Yep, yep, absolutely, guys. I mean, look at this thing just been just taking a huge hit on a downtrend, pretty bad here since 2015, correct? Um,
15, yeah.
yep. Let's look at XPO here. So XPO also has a decent pre-market activity. We have 176,000 shares being traded right now. Also breaking out in a pretty nice style here as well. You have an area with the previous day close highs and lows of the last two trading days have created this kind of range. Has been a ton has been kind of been stuck in, right? So we're breaking out of that today pretty nice with a good pre-market activity. Could be better, but you can see as the volume is coming in now after 8 a.m. You can see how much cleaner this is trading, right? So here's not so clean, a little bit choppy.
Yep.
Volume is creating a beautiful pre-market activity. No, this is up quite a bit as well, 20%, almost 21. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, so speaking about beaten down stocks, this is one actually it was on a hell of a tear, just kind of on the logistics craze of the 2010s, 20 teens, and e-commerce. And then they got hit. They had some accounting irregularity problems, I believe. They had a couple of people on their board that were in trouble. And then they got hit by one of the short sellers. I can't remember if it was Citron or Spruce Capital or who it was. Anyway, so that they were been hit pretty hard recently. They just released news that they're going to be looking to reorganize and divest, aka sell potentially one or more business units.
Okay,
So,
okay.
frankly, the whole company could be up for sale.
Gotcha. Well, it seems like it's very good news for them this morning, gapping up really, really nice. Next, we have
Yep.
MS. Let's see what MS is. Is MS a foreign stock? Yeah, it looks. Oh no, it's
No,
Morgan
Morgan
Stanley. No, no,
Stanley.
no. Just a horrible daily chart here. Not all that great, but they're gapping up nicely today. Pre-market is not all that great with 1.1 million shares traded so far. You would think this pre-market activity would look better, but Morgan Stanley is one of those banks like Bank of America, BAC, West Fargo's, WFC, I believe. These guys don't trade all that well and all that clean. So pre-market is not going to look awesome like we see some of these other stocks trading like a SIG today, right? See, this right here, guys, is basically an awesome pre-market activity because it looks like, the candles are all connecting. They're all forming a pattern. And if you look at it, it just looks like the market is actually open. Maybe not, at 9:30 action, but maybe like a noon action, right? So this is what you want to see in the pre-market. I mean, people are watching this stuff and it's trading well. Opposed to here, look how choppy this one is. Though you got volume, this one candle alone here is 219,000 shares, right? So you're not creating a beautiful pre-market activity in the sense of price action. But either way, this is gapping up huge today. 5.9 for this stock is a lot. Norm, are they doing earnings or What do we have going on with Morgan Stanley?
Yeah, they released their earnings this morning and they really beat on their top and bottom lines. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they beat year over year estimates. So they're in pretty good shape. The banks overall have had good earnings. We'll get into one here in a little bit toward the bottom of the list that didn't, but it's not one of these. It's a little bit different of a bank than these Citi, Morgan Stanley, JPM, Bank of America, and such. But yeah, they had great earnings this morning, and they're getting the benefit of it right now.
Absolutely. Next, we have SDC. Now, SDC, Hilla is always trading this one in our community. SDC, he's taken a couple of trades on this one. Done very well with
Who's
this.
that?
Is it Hilla? Hilla
Hilal, yeah.
Hilal, yeah.
Yep,
He's been
Hilal.
doing pretty well with this stock. So congrats to him. So SDC this morning on our list it is up 4.2, 342,000 shares traded at the moment. Again, you can see here this thing has had a couple of great days on here. Yesterday had a really nice day breaking out of this area here and almost hitting this area of resistance. So we're gapping up above that now. Pre-market activity, price action itself is not looking all that great, but I'm not sure how the intraday has looked on this one. I have not checked it out closely. But it is active today. We'll definitely watch it and see what's going on here. Now, Norma, you aware what's going on with this one that's causing a lot of noise over the last couple of days?
I'm not seeing anything necessarily new. It was released a couple of days ago that they're going to be distributing their aligners, their teeth aligners, through dentists and orthodontists,
Mm-hmm.
and they won a lawsuit in New Jersey over some of their practices that doctors had brought against them. I think like operating without a license or something. I believe this is just a continuation move.
Mm-hmm.
They've got relatively high short float at 28.57% per TI. So
Okay. Okay. All right. So that is what we have there in SDC. Next, let's look at LK. Now, LK has been active. This one we have looked at in the past over the last couple of days. This again just continues to rip. This is the coffee company that just in November was trading at $20. Since then is now at 47 with some good pullbacks, but really have some days here where it's just been ripping pretty nice. So today they are trading up at 4.1, 352,000 shares traded. Now this one doesn't have a great pre-market action or activity at the moment, but the volume is there. Also, the intraday, based on what we have seen, is pretty clean. So worth watching and keeping on our list. We do have a nice daily here. So what's been happening, guys? We broke out of right. We have a pop here, nice pullback. We broke out of this, and now we're kind of building a new range here, right? We've been stuck between 145 and looks like 47, almost 48. So if we can break out of this, that could be a nice pop here. We'll see what kind of activity we're going to get out of this. But it'll be nice to break out of this range here, either go for the next leg or pull back down towards these levels here around $40. So okay, definitely worth watching on our list. We'll keep it on here. And Steve was telling us, okay, got an upgrade. Is that upgrade for today, or is this continuation
yeah,
of
they
what we?
got an upgrade early this
Mhm.
morning. It was out of KeyBank. They raised their price target to $56. The other thing going on here is a few days ago, they released a secondary and some convertible debt notes. I think the date on those was 2025.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a mix of a debt and equity raise. I won't get into what convertible notes are, but that's completed. So that also helps it out just a little bit.
All right, makes sense. Now here next we have CLVS. So CLVS, guys, this one is it's been pretty active. Sold off for the most of the part of the day yesterday, so it didn't really get going above these levels we had here. Got a choppy open and then sold off really nice with a beautiful downtrend, just sticking to that 9 moving
The
average.
dude,
Go ahead.
no, sorry, man. I was talking to my wife.
Okay, no worries. So again, here's down quite a bit. At the moment, it's up 3%. Again, bouncing back from yesterday. Pre-market activity is not looking great. 153. A lot of it sitting on this candle here. So I'm just not sure how great this is going to trade today. It's getting a little bit messy with all these moving averages here, and also you got the highs and lows. Just kind of stuck in a bad situation on the daily. So not one of the favorites. We'll keep it on here because it has been active and it did trade very well yesterday. So we'll see what it does. But if we find something better, it's probably not going to make my final list just because the daily chart just doesn't look all that great. BYND, definitely worth watching, guys. Look at the beautiful
I just want to
pre-market.
note on
Yep.
Clovis, as of last reporting date, they had 53% short interest.
Mm,
So I know it traded well yesterday. Frankly, it wasn't a huge pop considering they got, FDA approval news or
mm-hmm,
whatever.
mm-hmm.
And then, with that short float. So a little bit interesting. My guess is the reason it sometimes trades choppy is that short float.
Yeah, that could be, and it's surprising because if you have a high short flow and you also you have good news, you could get a more aggressive pop, and we didn't see that, from this stock yesterday. So, might not be one of my favorites to watch today, but we'll keep it on here, see how the pre-market develops and how we get close to 9:15, how that is looking. BYND on the other hand, guys, again, just very active right now. This thing went as low.
Beyond the meat.
Yes, and I think so funny you mentioned that. So I saw missing Andrew's recaps, and he's been trying to correct us. He's like, guys, it's not beyond the meat,
He,
but I don't.
he keeps correcting it, but it'll always be beyond the meat to me,
Yeah, I
man.
don't think if he knows that that's an internal joke that we have here with the community. So we'll have to bring him in up to speed on that. But here we go, guys. This thing as high as 135, as low as 103 this pre-market. So this thing has a nice big drop here, giving a lot back from this move. But overall, if you look at this move in its entirety, right? If you look at the whole picture, this is still, this is still almost a good pullback. This is not a change in direction just yet. So be cautious being short bias on this one. This can find some kind of base here and get going. So right now it's looking pretty strong at the moment. Great pre-market activity, 2.6. The issue with this one, guys, is the spread. Be cautious with the spread when you're taking a trade. Make sure it's favorable. There's two ways you can go around the spread if you still have a pattern that you want to trade. And one way you could do it is you take less shares to avoid having a bigger unexpected risk if the stock drops on you, or if the spread gets a lot bigger than when you bought in. And the other one is as well to just not trade it. Just not trade it. Just avoid it and find something else. So there's two ways to get around it.
Beyond meat is it's a tough stock to trade, even if it has a clean directional movement.
Yeah,
It's got a
yeah.
big spread and it still jumps around a lot relatively compared to its move.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In my mind, whenever I've traded it, I've experienced that at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So again, it's one of those stocks where you want to be
David F is
cautious. Go ahead.
he makes a good point there. Well, David F just said Beyond is the new Roku, and it does kind of trade like Roku used to.
Oh yeah, Roku used to be really tough to trade, guys. It's so much better now, so clean. But when we were trading this in the past, this thing used to be very wild. You're right, it used to trade just like that. So Beyond the Meat here is definitely one that's in play today, up quite a bit. 2.7 with some good volume, good pre-market activity. Just the trading itself is a little more difficult. All right, heading back to our list, CLVS we looked at. Let's go over to CGC. What has CGC been up to? I haven't looked at that one in some time. Got a beautiful bounce back here. You guys remember this thing was selling off again. This one also was taking a hit. And what I mean taking a hit, just, this thing went from the 50s, mid 50s all the way down to $12. I think even lower. Found a way to crawl out of that hole, and now it's making its way back up to 25 here. So pre-market activity is not looking great, guys. I mean, we do have 100,000, but 23 of that is sitting on this one candle here. And again, if you just look at this, activity is not great. It is a nicey stock, so it can get better. The daily looks interesting because you have an opportunity to break out of this level here. But let's remove some of these levels. But the one thing is, it's already pretty extended here. This was a much better breakout on the daily. Look at this breakout here, right? Out of this 22 area. Broke out of it, came back, retested, and just got, kept going there. So that's a very clean breakout. Here now, a few things you got going against it. It's extended quite a bit, right? And it has broken out through several levels. Out from this one here, and now we're kind of getting into a situation. It could get choppy in here. I don't think you're going to get another leg up without it chopping around a bit. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not a professional analyst or anything like that. So just be cautious with that. I don't like the volume right now in the pre-market activity. I'm going to throw it on here in case it gets better and it gets more volume. But this one, CGC and CLVS might be ones that don't make the list today. Next, we have Tesla. Tesla this morning. Wow, Tesla taking a nice hit here. 4.1 this morning.
Smacked.
Wow, look at this pre-market activity. Trading 1.1 million shares traded right now. So this is taking a bit of a dump here. What's going on? Any significant news, or we're just overextended on the technicals here?
Yeah, there's actually a couple of things here. They got a downgrade this morning out of Morgan Stanley with a $360 price target, and they moved it to equal weight from underweight. So price target downgrade and a status downgrade. The other thing is there, and I don't have the solid numbers on this, but I heard something about weak potential sales in California, which for those of you that have been to California, know that that is like the home of electric vehicles, not only, where Tesla's based or whatever, but more electric vehicles in the mix than anywhere else. So taking a hit in California could be a massive problem.
Yeah, yeah, Cali's are definitely where there are a lot of those on there, so that could definitely mess them up there a little bit. So again, here we have guys. Again, definitely in play this morning. We'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Pre-market activity is looking great already, and we are hitting this moving average on the daily. Also, daily has a beautiful pattern. This is the price action sitting right on the level right now. We got some other great levels down here, then some more up to the top. So again, just a beautiful pre-market activity, very active. Definitely gonna watch Tesla. Tesla is expensive. I usually don't trade anything above that $200 mark, but almost everything seems to be going above that. Apple's been going above that. I think a few stocks that we trade on a
It's
normal
hard to
basis.
you're getting fewer and fewer tickers you can
Yeah,
trade these
yeah,
days with that rule.
exactly. So I'm gonna have to be changing that quite a bit and see what we could do there. So there's Tesla, BK. BK at the moment, this one is down 7.1. Bank of New York, or this is one you were talking about, right, Norm? The Bank of New
This
York.
yeah, this is Bank of New York Mellon. So they had earnings this morning that on the surface look good because they beat, but underneath, if you get into it, they had a one-time transaction benefit of an undisclosed investment. So that is, and if you take that out of the mix, they really had a pretty bad earnings report.
And just looking at the technicals here, again, the daily chart is very, very choppy, guys. This is definitely a stock that I'm not gonna keep on here. Pre-market's got some movement to it, some volume, but again, not a great movement
Yeah.
pricing wise. So I'm just not gonna spend my time on it. We have a lot of great stocks here that are moving well, with some good volume, with a clean pre-market activity that are gonna be worth trading with, also with a very clean daily chart. I'm just gonna look over here. I
I
think,
won't be watching this one either. It
yeah,
doesn't,
yeah.
from my experience, it doesn't trade very well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's one that's gonna give us some good moves. GLPG popped up in our gappers, but it looks like it's a block trade here. You got 40,000 shares being traded here, and really no activity at the moment. So also looks foreign. Looks like it's got some gas in between here. Oh yeah, I think it is for Netherlands. I think is when you have NV here. I think it's Netherlands if I'm not mistaken. So. All right, guys. Norm, what do you like this morning, man? We have quite a bit here. What else you like on your list?
I got Shack on here too, man. We're up another 2.8% on the morning on, it's not a ton of volume,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a NYSE stock, so that's kind of understandable. We've got a really good list. I'm going to actually have to pare mine down from what we've already discussed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think, I really, Nvidia's kind of got a nice consolidation area here. I will be keeping an eye out on a daily breakout for it at some point. I don't know if it'll be this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Could be with the markets up 0.5%. Really, same kind of pattern on Apple and Facebook may be in the process of breaking out as well. It just doesn't have the volume up this morning, but it's above those all-time highs. So I'll keep an eye on those, but we've got such a good list here, man. I'm excited about getting back to trading today.
Yeah, yeah, our list is good. Facebook looks nice, man. It got a nice possible breakout here. I like the way the daily's setting up. And then Shaq was great yesterday too. It gave us a really good move. Brian took this at the open, by the way. This is one that I took off my list that also looked great. But right in here, Brian took this trade. And then when it started consolidating here, we called it for a long again. And then boom, there it went. It gave you another dollar or two on that pop. So again, it traded very clean yesterday. Looks like it wants to put another good continuation in this morning. So doesn't have the volume, guys, right? Because it's a nicey stock. But same thing yesterday. Yesterday didn't have great volume, and the volume, look at it, came in here, and it not only came in, it traded very clean. So, all right, guys, let's see what you guys have on your end. Anything that's not on here has got some good volume, good daily. That has maybe a
Do
good
you want to hit
catalyst.
Nasdaq active and gainers real quick?
Yeah, you know what? Let's go through this pretty
I
quick.
don't think it'll take about. I don't think it'll
No,
take very
we're
long.
gonna run through this. So let's go to number two here. XSTC. Sorry, SXTC. This one here, 922. It looks like a Chinese pharmaceutical company. I'm gonna avoid these type of stocks today, guys. So if you're in the this looks like not a low float, but it looks like it's a one of those stocks you just
Penny
might not
stock
want to
garbage.
trade. Yeah, it's
Chinese
18.
penny stock
Yeah, it's
garbage.
$18, under a buck. What are they like today? You don't need to trade stuff like this, right? AMBC. This one here, block trade. Look at the nice block trade here,
Look at the spread on that.
874. That's a beautiful spread there, man. That's just
It
amazing.
is seven. I love a 17, $18 spread.
I think that's the worst I've ever seen. So again, just completely avoid this horrible daily chart. Not anything you want to be having on your watch list. CETX. This one's been in here quite a bit, guys. So it had a nice pop yesterday. If there's a low flow, you might want to watch this one. This one's been active again, active today, and up 161%. A lower price stock, trading under $1, so pretty much more of a penny stock. But I did see some clean moves of traders on yesterday's trading. So if you're into that one, that might be one worth watching. Next, we have FTR, penny stock. We'll skip that one. RBZ, like Brian says. This one here, it's got some volume to it. Had a great day yesterday, but again, also more on that penny size stock. Kind of selling off a bit now. I'm not going to watch this one. TLT. This one is a treasury, so we'll skip that one. Yep.
Yeah.
AMD, it's a good possible as well, guys. Got some good volume today, 457. We just have so many here that look great with a catalyst. So, but AMD's got a nice breakout. You know, I'm gonna put this on here just to watch later in the day now because I'm gonna trade it at the open. BYND we have on our list. SDC we have on our list. Let's head over to NASDAQ gainers. NTGN, horrible, nothing happening there. CETX is the one, guys, that could be a good low flow to watch if it can get a secondary move going here. VSN, nothing going on there, no volume. PTE, also horrible. RBZ, as we discussed earlier, this one is one that had a great day yesterday, but again, just these type of stocks I'm going to try to avoid. Now, I don't know if this is a low flow stock, though. What's the floor? Yeah, 1.
Yeah, I believe RBZ is. We traded this a while back.
Yeah, we used to trade this quite a bit. So again, just not gonna watch this one today. Next on here, BLIN, one that we definitely have looked at before in the past, but nothing going on here. No volume. And last one, no, two more on this list. CBLI, also no activity, no volume. And the last one will be MGI. This one also not looking great, no volume. I got volume, but again, just no pre-market activity. A couple of block trades giving you that 116. All right, folks, let's see what we have. Let's start here with our chat room. So, DGAS and UGAS. I'll wait for Brian to give us what's going on with those two commodities there. Well, that one commodity up and down, and we'll see what's going on there. Same with Nugget. Thank you, Jared. Brian is really good. He watches those all the time and can give us an update on what's going on with those two, gas and gold. All right, I'm going to hop over to our YouTube chat. I see many of you pointing out TSM. We'll look at that next. Here's Roku, guys. So Roku is kind of stuck in again, just a bad consolidation.
It's forming that kind of descending wedge right there.
Yeah. So again, I think they're going to get the volume. There's a lot of indecision right now on Roku, which I don't like. I like when it was trading like this here. You know, you have some direction and you have some really good moving continuation. Here as well, you had this beautiful gap. You guys remember this? It just came back with a vengeance here, going from 120 all the way to 165. These were some good intraday plays in here. Even here was trading somewhat decent. Now it's kind of getting stuck into a nice wedge here. Pre-market is not looking great. Volume is not looking great. So I'm just going to put this away on a secondary maybe something for his or scans. But at the moment, I don't see anything great on this one now. Now, if you see this support here, this is a major support for this stock. Every time it has dipped below, that has come back up. If it can lose that again, you can at least get a run all the way down to this area here, 126. But again, just not looking all that great right now, pre-market activity-wise on Roku. TSM. See a lot of you guys pointing out
TSM is garbage. Taiwan Semiconductor, it never trades well.
Yeah, so guys, this is you want to avoid this one. Just look at the daily, look at the pre-market action. Just not one that you want to have on your list this morning. All right, XPO we have. Yep, XPO is right on here. It's one of our second ones. That looks good, and we like SIG as well. Those two are looking very well. Let's do a few more. FPAC. FPSC, yeah, it's got a couple of block trades here, looks like, guys. So I'm not going to trade this one. Got a beautiful pop. Look at the volume, 6.2. But look at the way this is trading, and look at the way it trades. Look at the daily. So again, this is what this has nothing going for it. Horrible daily chart, horrible pre-market activity. You want to just avoid this here. Okay, I think that it's about it. Oh yeah, one more, OGI, and then we'll go over to announcements. OGI this morning. It's got some volume. It's got a decent pre-market activity. I do not like this type of stocks when they have this type of daily, right? Just seems very choppy in here. They're trading under that $5 mark that we, usually stocks tend to be a little bit worse at. Again, I'm just not liking this. Also, look at the volume. You got 100,000 here in this one candle. You have another 75 here. You're not getting good pre-market activity. One of the things about one of the criteria I like about lower price stock is you want to have. Let's look at CET. See if that's doing it. No, it's not doing it now. But you want to have very clean pre-market activity. I think it's a good indicator of these lower price stocks, especially low floats. If they're going to be good trades for the day, you want to have a very clean pre-market activity that's giving you some good patterns. That one is definitely not doing it. All right, folks. I think that about covers it. Just going through our chat here. Make sure there's nothing else I missed. TNA. TNA is a small cap indicator, I believe. So yeah.
Small cap ETF, yeah.
Yep. And then CH.
It's another Brian.
Yes,
Brian
another...
loves TNA. He trades it all the time.
Well, he's amazing at that. CH. KP, this one here, guys, the daily itself. Look at the daily. I don't like when candles overlap like this. It looks like very algo-like trading. Usually does transfer into not a great pre-market activity at the open, right? Also, look at the volume now. There's just no volume there at all. All right, guys, let's get over to announcements. We had a great success webinar yesterday, guys. So for those that made it, great, and the recording should be up soon if it's not up already. So let's bring that up and kind of go over what we have coming up.
Yeah, and sorry, I will get this updated here in the next couple of days. So, guys, if you're looking, the promo code for Holidays 19 is still available. You can get 40% off a lifetime one-time membership by using the promo code Holidays 19 at checkout. And part of that you get, if you get the one with DAS, you get the Variable Traders DAS 3-month simulator package. The DAS Live replay is available in that. We begged them for a long time. They put a lot of resources into building this, so please check it out. Give us your feedback, and good luck with that. There are some forum posts on that. A number of people are using it and being able to trade, after the market's closed on historical data. Also, line up for success webinars is right here. Last night was Eamon talking about ABCD patterns. That recording, as Carlos said, will be available soon if it's not already up. Next week is the chart log guys, which are two members of the Variable Traders chat room that created a web-based journaling software. And I've heard a lot of great things about it. They'll be discussing journaling and their software next Wednesday. And then the week after that, we're all waiting for Naz and Andrew's day trading options success webinar. Also, meetups coming up this weekend. What is this, Friday? Is in Seattle. I know Andrew Bryan will be there. They're talking about driving down, maybe taking some people from Vancouver if they're interested in riding with them. And then also, we don't have a date yet, but Andrew is trying to get together a Dubai meetup for February. So there's a forum post. AB will post the link. If you're watching us on YouTube and have not been in the room, would like to try to check it out, you can do so for a week at a discount by using the promo code PREMARKET24. No spaces, no hyphens. Premarket, and the number is 24, just like you see it on the screen. Does not auto-renew, does not turn into a different kind of membership. As I mentioned earlier, Carlos and I are both really active on Twitter. You can find us. I'm at NormBBT, and Carlos is at Carlos M, like Mike BBT. Carlos M BBT. And also, if you hit the subscribe button on YouTube and the notification bell, you will be notified whenever we go live with new content. Back to you, buddy.
All right, excellent, guys. All right, let's see what we have here. We have, again, a nice list that's building up. Someone mentioned YNDX, and YNDX looks like it's starting to get going here. Put that up on the side screen. YNDX looks like it's starting to get some volume. We have traded this one before in the past, and it's given us some really good opportunities when there is volume. I do like the possible breakout here. So this could be a good possible, guys. I'm going to put it down under AMD YNDX. But again, with so many, I wish the market would split, would separate this a little bit, right? Give us a couple of good stocks on one day, and just kind of spread them out and not all on one day. So, but it is, we'll take it and make the best out of it. Here it is, SIG. SIG has a great pre-market activity, guys. Love the way this is trading at the moment. We do have our high of our pre-market sitting at 29.90. Our low is basically the high from yesterday, so we're not going to mark that down there. We do have a couple of pops here I want to mark down, which is this one, 22.32. It looks like we tested this one at least twice here and here. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's get some levels in between here. Towards the bottom of the price action, we do have some levels on there on the daily. Let's see if we get some good consolidation. Look at this 28.93. Look how that has been tested twice. A perfect level. This is why this is the high of the pre-market. Not a coincidence, guys, right? People are looking at, okay, what's the next area of resistance? And that's what's happening there. Below this, we do have an area of, where it has several touches, kind of like a minor support resistance, right? You can see it on here. You can see several days opening and closing around that area, using it as resistance down here, and then as support on the top. So kind of a minor resistance. So again, these terms are not anything technical. I'm just kind of, as we go, if we see something like this, where you have a daily chart comes up, tests a level and completely rejects and changes direction, we could refer that to as like a major level, right? This is a major level. Same thing here, tests it and then rejects it. That's kind of a major level. In here, you have more of a consolidation, opening and closing around that area, right? You don't have days kind of changing directions, reversal like this. So that's kind of like of a minor level of support and resistance worth having on here, but there's not a huge change in direction, right? So that's what we're referring to when we say that. Here, guys, we do have another one as well, 25.64. There's a very nice clean one. Again, you can see the change in direction here. Tests that 25.64, heads back up. Same thing here. Look at that after this gap down, this drop. That 25.64 was the area that had a tough time getting through. Once it got above that, you can see it ran up nicely all the way up to 28.93. So below the price action here, 28.24 at the moment, we have 27.22, 25.68 based on what we've seen here on this consolidation when where some of the pivot points are being placed there. You also have I'm just gonna mark it down because this one is also a very clean one, guys. Look at 23.70, right? 23.70 right here, 23.66. Beautiful support at this area. Tested several times before it broke out, and then on the way down here, look at this drop where it comes down to. Again, that 23 actually breaks down to the 23.66 and then uses that as resistance, that level 23.63. All right, so above the price action, let's go in here and see what we have above the price action at SIG. So SIG is not all-time high. Thank you guys for those that were mentioning that in the chat room. 32.06 is one, and then we have another level all the way up here at 37 and clearly a 44. I don't think we're going to get there, but that's a clean level there as well. So same situation here, guys. At 33.06, you can see where you have the loss of momentum and then it being tested as resistance and then support again once we broke out of that, coming right back down to that area. All right, let's head down to XPO. Let's just get our chart ready here. All right, so again, love the way this is trading now, guys. I think it's going to be very active. 620 up 31%. Definitely one of my favorite ones this morning. On that was on SIG. Now on XPO, this one we also got some really good volume. 301. We have a nice pop here. Pre-market not as clean as SIG, right? SIG has a beautiful pre-market activity. Our high here is sitting at 99. Actually 100 to be exact, and our low is sitting at 96.50. So we'll mark those down. Let's head over to the left and see what we have in regards to levels around this price action. So zoom in here a little bit. So then above that, we do have an area right on here at a 103.53. So I'm going to mark that down. You can see the days using it as support and resistance. Another one all the way up here at 108.50. I think that's enough towards the top. Towards the bottom, you do have, look at this low of the pre-market right now, 96.50. That has been also in there. I know this might be a little small to see on YouTube and on the screen share, but you can see 96.50 kind of holding some support here before we took this beautiful run all the way up to 115, looks like. So below that, we do have not the best level, but this 91 looks good. In here, you can see the daily gets a little bit choppy, right? You have a little drop here, and then the 91.34, you can see it being tested several times. That's a good level. In here, you really have nothing clean, so I'm not going to just make up levels in this area here. But that's what we have on XPO, guys. Has a good pop right now this morning, up to 18% with some good volume, and hopefully this can give us a good trading day today. I do like this beautiful pop here, and we do have some good levels towards the top and bottom. MS this morning had a pop. This is Morgan Stanley. The level here is sitting at 56.50. So we'll mark that down. High of the pre-market. The low of the pre-market stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. This is a stock that I'm not going to watch. I think we have plenty of other stocks that trade very well. And these banking stocks like MS and BK is another one that's on our gappers list, gapping down today. Our stocks that usually do not trade very clean. Does not mean that today could be the exception and they can take off. But again, on the normal basis, they're just not very clean in their activity. So I got some levels here: 58.16, 55.20, and 8 below the price action. Again, not one that I'm going to be watching, so I'm going to remove this one from my list this morning. We have two good ones already, SIG and XPO. SDC is one that has some potential. It doesn't look very clean right now pre-market wise, but it has traded very well. We've seen some of the members trade this very nice at in the last couple of days. High of the pre-market sitting at 14.36, so we'll mark that down. The low of the pre-market sitting at 14, so let's head down here at a 14 or so. Then below, they got the highs and lows from the last two trading days and the previous day close. Now, I don't believe this is an all-time high, so if we head here to the left, we do have some levels here we can mark down, 15, 16 up here, and then one all the way up here on this drop here at a 16.31. All right, so not a fan of this one. This one might not make my list. I think we might have some other ones that are trading a lot better with a better pre-market activity at the moment. Here's LK, guys. LK is kind of stuck within this range. It could have a potential for possible breakout. It's got the volume. It's been trading very clean. As far as levels, I don't think you need to really add any more. Highs and lows for the last two trading days right on here. Since we've been consolidating in that area, you can mark down this 41.80 in case we lose this level previous day close. This seems to be the next area you can find some support. Also look out for this moving average here as well. But again, I don't think you need to mark any more on LK. Pretty choppy this morning, guys. Got great volume, 651, but just look at the chop, just chopping around. Not really not great pre-market action on the price. CLVS was very choppy yesterday. This is another one that I'm not a huge fan of. As far as levels, I think you have plenty. Maybe mark down the high of the pre-market at 983. But since you've been stuck in this consolidation over the last couple of days, you have your highs and lows for the last two trading days. You got your previous day close. You have moving averages coming in here as well. This could be a good level to mark also. This 1059, 1050. You can see several days have a pop above that, right? Have tested as a support, and then you have some resistance happening here. So 1051 could be a good one to mark. If we can get above this 983, that could be a good area to go for. On this one today, I think you have to look out for very short moves. I don't expect this to break out. We're stuck between this consolidation here. BYND, what do we have going on here? So BYND possibly breaking out of this 1080 or 110 and 80, which is our pre-market high. I'm going to mark that down here. Let's remove this level we have here. Here we go. And then let's mark down 110.82, and then above that we have highs and lows from the last two trading days right in here, which is good, on 115. You can mark down this one here, 122.39 is a good one as well. And then the next level you really have for most recent is 135. Towards the bottom, you have the low from today sitting at 103.80. And another level right on here, 98.72. Again, guys, this stock is definitely going to be in play. Great pre-market activity, some good volume. Just be aware of the spread when you take a trade in this stock. You know, it's not bad now. It's about 10 cents, 2 cents now. But really, also look at this also. You notice here, this has 0. That means that somebody has less than 100 shares on that bid and ask, right? Sometimes this might look tight, but then the next one over might be 20 cents. So just be aware of that, right? This could be, just because it's tight here and usually 0, that's not really a lot of volume, not a lot of people sitting there. So just be cautious on that. CGC, guys, what do we have here? CGC, it's interesting. It is, again, the daily's nice. It's been ripping. It seems a little bit extended here, doing a little bit of a pullback, but we are gapping up this morning, right? The pullback happened yesterday, basically gapping up 2.2. High of our pre-market 25.55, so let's mark that down. We got our high from yesterday up here at 26. Our low sitting at 25.16, so we'll mark that down. And then from there, I don't think you need to add any more, guys, because the last couple of days you have some really good levels built in here. You got your previous day close, the highs from the last two trading days. I mean, I just don't know if this thing has any more juice to break out of this 25.54 and hit that 26 after, just a great move here, and also breaking out of an area that I struggle quite a bit. So just keep that in mind. I think this will be a really good possible. Volume starting to creep in a little bit, but not one of my favorites this morning. Tesla, again, continues to drip here. Tesla making a new low, 493. We'll mark that down. I'm not sure if that's going to hold, but we'll have it in here anyway. 493.33 is the level. Actually, you might want to keep that one because that also is the low from 3 days ago, and also the resistance area from these 2 days here. So keep that there. Even if it breaks the low of the day changes, keep that level on. That's going to be a good support and resistance. So we'll see if this can hold here. It's coming back down. It looks like to test it one more time. Below that, we do have this 473 on here, 473.31. It's a great level. And I think we could do one more, maybe this moving average, which is also being supported by these daily charts here as resistance and as support, bouncing back from that before taking a nice little run all the way up to 550. So Tesla's looking good. Again, very active, guys. 1.3 million shares. And we talk about, I'll talk about, oh, this is a beautiful pre-market activity or great pre-market activity. This is it right here. Look at how this is trading. If you were to look at this chart here and did not know the time, right? If you didn't know what time this was, this will look like the market open. And that is what we're looking for, right? Look at the volume here. This is an example of a great, perfect pre-market activity. You cannot tell that's not 9:30 right on there. So that's what we're looking for. Candles connecting with each other, linking very nice, and creating a beautiful pre-market activity. This usually gives you a good indication this stock is gonna be in play and hopefully trade well, trending nice on this 9 moving average. Also a beautiful daily, very clean daily chart where you can clearly see levels, right? This is why we always talk about having a clean daily chart, because what happens is when you have a clean daily chart, guess what? We are going to have the same levels of support and resistance, and if we are looking at the same thing, then most likely those those things will become where a lot of traders are going to be getting in or out of a position. That is what we have, guys. Plenty of stocks. I'm not going to go through the possibles, but some of them are Shack, Nvidia, Apple. Apple kind of stuck within the range here. If it can break out, that would be nice. Facebook looks good, guys. Facebook is if one of the best possibles on here is Facebook. As Norm mentioned, look at this possible breakout here if it can get going. So Facebook definitely should be on top of your secondary list. AMD also has a very nice look here, guys. I mean, this thing is starting to get going. Yeah, AMD and Apple definitely want to have on your list. I'll fine tune my list a little more before 9:30. And AMD could have some potential here to get above this area of resistance. Our next level we have here is 49.93 will mark that down. 47.05 will mark that down. So again, just like the way AMD is setting up now, good pre-market activity. That volume starting to come in, hitting that number we like to see above that 700,000 pre-market is great for AMD. YNDX, another good possible here. Not the best pre-market activity. Volume is not coming in, so not all that great right now. But definitely keep your eye on Facebook and AMD on this secondary list. All right, folks, that is what we have. One more thing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's get rid of some. I think we said, okay. It's got great volume, but I'm going to get rid of okay just because we have too many. Move it down here to a secondary list. If you're trading all day. Say it again.
It's a good list this morning.
It is a good list. And if you're trading all days, you can have all these stocks, right? You can have your main list to watch at the open, 5 or 6 or whatever your number is. And then as the open happens, 10, 15 minutes in, if you see that one of your stocks is not trading well, take it off. CLVS, I'm actually going to take off. I don't like the way this is congested with all the levels there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 is perfect. Tesla, I love Tesla. Bouncing off this 493, so that's good. Let's get this level out of here. So let's see. There we go. We're getting a little bounce, a little squeeze here. CGC. CGC. I think you know what? I think I'm going to change CGC. Going to remove CGC and add AMD. I really like the way AMD looks right now. And then we'll throw CGC down here as a good possible for later on today. But I think AMD, I like the way the pre-market is building here. I really like the way the daily looks as well. Tesla I like. MB on the me is moving here. This is also looking pretty nice. But again, guys, just be cautious with this one. Be very, very careful with this one. And SDC for me seems a little choppy, but I'm looking at Hilal. Am I saying it right? Hilal?
Hello, yeah.
Hilal. Yeah, he's been trading very well.
Or just PhD of something.
Oh, that's PhD of something. That's right. So this has been trading very well intraday.
Super nice guy. Got to meet him a couple of times.
Nice. Where's he located?
New York.
New York. He hasn't met me yet. Actually, no, I think I did meet him in the meetup.
I think you did meet him, dude.
Yeah.
We didn't get
a chance.
You and I met.
We didn't get a chance to actually sit down and talk. There was so many people there. We have to really do another meetup in New York. Maybe a smaller one with the New York crew. And if you can come up, and Andrew, that'll be great. So we have to do that in the summertime because Andrew's had a lot of snow lately and a lot of cold. So I don't want to bring him up now. We got to bring him up when it's a little warmer. Guys, here's what we have. An amazing list today. Again, trade safe. No fear of missing out. Don't go bouncing from stock to stock neither, guys. Don't go, oh, this is not moving. Let me go to this one. Take your time. One of the things we get sometimes traders, they feel like they're rushing. If you just sit back those 5 minutes and just watch the stock with no intention of getting into a trade, you see how long those 5 minutes are. Sometimes you hear other people taking trades and you feel like, oh man, I haven't taken a trade yet. I'm a failure. And it's only been 3 minutes, 2 minutes into the market. Guys, we have hours to go before you have to take a trade. So I was not talking about Andrew. Andrew's in the chat room. He thinks I'm talking about him, but I'm not. It happens a lot. You know, even when I was a starting trader, I used to see other people in the chat room, members, Andrew, whoever, text, "Oh, I'm done for the day," or "I did a good trade." Guys, it's only 5 minutes, 15 minutes. We have so much more time to trade and catch opportunities. So just keep that in mind. All right. Thank you guys for joining us on YouTube. Take care, trade safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. See you tomorrow.